Well, they're all very special, but welcome to a very special episode of ZekeTalk. Tonight, we are discussing the 90th Annual Academy Awards. With me is, from ZekeFilm, Taylor Blake.
Hello.
And from ZekeFilm, Madeline Brophy.
Hi. Glad to be here.
Yes, you have to talk for the video.
Oh, okay.
And also,
Hi, I'm sorry. Hi.
and also just in general, but yeah, welcome, Madeline. Neither of you are first timers. You've both been on the show, and of course, contributors to the website, ZekeFilm.org. So we hope everybody that's tuned into this will give our website a visit and check out some of our great content there. But tonight we're here to talk about the Academy Awards, and it's a big deal because it is 90 years of Oscar greatness. Oscar greatness, that's right. I'd like to just kind of generally ask you guys, what is it about the Oscars that compels you to tune in? Do you put a lot of weight into the awards themselves, or is it just seeing the movie stars all getting together for a big shindig? Or is there more to it than that? Madeline?
Sure. I've always loved award shows. Sorry, is it not getting me? I noticed that the video's not
You're
grabbing
fine.
me.
I
Okay.
can see you.
Oh, you can? Okay, cool. I've loved award shows for a long time. I love getting together with friends and eating junk food. Taylor knows all about this. I've told her all about it, but I don't necessarily know if I put weight. I mean, obviously the Oscars, the Academy Awards are looked on very prestigiously. And the Golden Globes are sort of like a party. And Jim and I talked about that last episode of ZekeTalk. So I think I almost enjoy the Golden Globes a little more because they're a little more relaxed, not as much pressure. But it's nice, especially like in March, there's a little bit of a build-up as we get closer to the 4th. So I just love the camaraderie of it, if I'm honest.
Taylor?
I love the Oscars. They are my favorite holiday after Christmas. For me, they are a holiday. I have a watch party every year. It is my favorite thing. And I recognize that it's a flawed system and that obviously they don't always get the winners right. And obviously they are not always the best representation of Hollywood. And I know a lot of people will say it's self-congratulatory and it's just a bunch of rich, famous people patting each other on the back. And I'm like, but I love it anyway. So I love that it celebrates movies every year. And I do think on the whole principle of striving for excellence in film is the whole point of it. And even though it doesn't get it right every time, I think the heart of it is I love it. I'm all about it. So the main goal of why they're there, I'm totally there and for it. And then you get to have a lot of fun debates about whether or not that it should have been The Social Network or The King's Speech. And we're still talking about this years later.
I love that. The horse race of it is something that, I acknowledge as both ridiculous and strangely essential to the industry and the craft of movie making. Mm-hmm. It's, anytime you take art, and filmmaking is an art, it's a business, mm-hmm. It's a huge business, and the Oscars are a major part of that. It's basically woven into the infrastructure of Hollywood at this point. Mm-hmm. So you really can't take the Oscars out of the equation anymore, even though there's always questions about, is it really worth it? All the money that the studios spend to promote these films within the industry in order to win one of these awards. They spend untold millions on these campaigns. And yet, is the return there? Yes and no sometimes. You could look
question mark.
Yeah, you could look at various careers that have never bounced back from Oscars. Certain movies that have maybe been more harmed by winning Best Picture.
Mm-hmm. Crash, for one.
The Crash is like the go-to example. That one is Well, I've never been a fan of Crash, but the people who were, I mean, it's like the whole thing just toppled when it made it that far. It's like even Paul Haggis seemed to be embarrassed that his movie won Best Picture.
Yeah,
You know?
I have not even seen it, and I know the infamous, like, this is just an okay movie, and one day I'll see it probably.
I was going to say, I don't know what the controversy is or isn't. So one of you could fill me in.
2006, I want to say. It was just a really unexpected win for Best Picture, and I think it was even surprise nomination. Like, and a lot of people didn't think it was that good.
Well, okay. Brokeback Mountain was supposed to win that year.
Oh, that's the movie that beat Brokeback Mountain.
Right.
Ah, now you know it.
And I didn't know it was called Crash. Whoops. Okay.
Brokeback Mountain is the better movie. You know,
sure, I've seen that one.
You know, right. So that one was poised to win, but for whatever reason, Crash. And I remember Jack Nicholson read the winner. The winner is Crash. You know, and
I'm gonna Google that later.
What? Yeah. But so anyway, I'll just get back on track. If you guys don't mind, are we done talking about Crash?
No, let's go for it. Let's talk more 2018, 2017,
okay,
however
more
we're defining
2017. Yeah, no, I love the Academy Awards because this is not an original thought on my part. I, for many years, was subscribed to a podcast called Oscar on Blog Talk Radio. And this was the only, as far as I know, year-round Oscar show. And
wow.
He's been doing it for 12 years. It's technically still in existence, but he's had to scale back so far that the show is rarely on anymore. But it used to be weekly. For years, it was weekly.
What?
You know,
That's
doing
dedication.
weekly show about the Oscars. And it was interesting, you know, because the thing he did that I loved was, you know, a look back in time at the Oscars. Like he would just take a single Oscar ceremony and do an entire several-hour show devoted to that. You know, and reading off, you know, what else was popular that year and playing music from the time and whatever, and made it all the way to about, I don't know, the mid-1950s maybe, and then that was as far as he ever got. Those shows were a lot of work, and
yeah.
Anyway, the thing that would come up again and again was how, despite what you said, I think, Taylor, about it being a self-congratulatory event, the Academy Awards.
And that comes, honestly, that's criticism more from other people than it is from me.
Right. And it's not wrong.
No, but it feels too vapid. It doesn't feel, yes. It doesn't feel like, it feels like taking one piece of it and assigning as the whole issue there. And it's not at all.
It's very dismissive. And, you know, to just look at it on the surface and say that all it is this, you know, back patting of a, you know, industry is losing sight of the fact that the Oscars are this actually a very democratic tradition where it's not just the ceremony itself. There's all these other things that happen. And one big thing that we don't see is the Academy lunch, the luncheon that they have, where usually there's a big group photo and everybody who can go goes. And they deliberately arrange the tables at this lunch so that everybody, it's like a good mix of the big powerhouse talent and the little guys. These, you know, best documentary short film nominees are sitting there with Spielberg and Meryl Streep. You know, I mean, just everybody's mixed together, and it's intentionally like that. And this is why when people complain about the show being too long and why do we have to have best short film and best animated short and you know, all these categories that, you know, so many people don't care about and eat up time on the broadcast, we cannot lose those. You know, because that's the democratizing thing about the Oscars. And that's one thing I've really come to love. I used to kind of be in that boat too. Like, why do they have that? You know, but it can't just be the big eight, or whatever these big categories. You know, we have to keep the little stuff, or else you know, it really does become elitist. That's my 2 cents. So,
I'll about that. I don't age that at this point, but I'll think about that.
Okay, think about that.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think it's really cool to see some of the more, like, even if you go by it for the actors that you know, like maybe you don't know the people who made the costumes or who do the editing, you know, everyone knows actors because they're on screen. And so even like the newcomer, you know, like Greta Gerwig, like, is a great example. Like, people know who she is now, but like, she's not as accomplished as Spielberg or someone of that caliber who's made that many films. So to see them all connect, sort of when I go back to, I like being with people who really love films and watching this show. I kind of get that feel in the room too, that of course, like, there's competitiveness and there's that self-congratulatory thing as well. But sort of seeing them all mixed together and support one another. And that's why I like the Golden Globes, because that TV and film is together. But I'll get off my boat of Golden Globes. But yeah, it's great. That's awesome, Jim. I didn't know they did a lunch. So
they get a lunch. Yeah.
I've heard about that, and that's cool.
Yeah. And then there's
the day of, they get lunch before the okay, I'm like, they have to get their makeup on. They have to put their dresses. Like,
it's happened. That would
be a lot.
This year's luncheon is all down. It's where they get briefed. You know, the president of the academy comes out and says, "All right, you know, when you go up, if you win, here's what we want you to keep in mind." Blah 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 blah. You know, and they get briefed, and then there's a photo. But you know, really, it's just an opportunity to get everybody together and chill out and spend time together. And all that. So, you know, I think that's cool. That's just one thing that the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences does in the lead up to this event, which is, you know, the big deal. All of film awards season leads up to it. We critics get to be the opening salvo. Actually, that's not true. It's festivals, film festivals. Really.
Yeah, really. Toronto and even Sundance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess did Get Out come out at Sundance last year?
No, I think Get Out just got out around that time.
Literally.
Anyway. But a lot of the, you know, certain other films. Let me check. Okay. Let's see. Call Me by Your Name. That was a big Sundance film. Yeah. I think that might have been the only one of this batch.
Okay. I know that one's got a lot
I don't
of
think any others
for best original or best adapted screenplay. I can't remember which one it's in now. But I think it just won at the BAFTAs.
Ooh.
Adapted, yes.
Okay. Well, why don't we talk about, you guys brought up Greta Gerwig. She is an actress who is nominated for Best Director for her film Lady Bird. So I'll just rattle off the other director nominees. We've got Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk, and Jordan Peele for Get Out. Yeah, Get Out. Paul Thomas Anderson's Phantom Thread. And then Guillermo del Toro, The Shape of Water. So those are our 5 for directing. What do you guys think? Should win.
I still have not seen Dunkirk, and I'm embarrassed about it.
Okay.
Because I know Taylor says it's really good, isn't it?
Yes. Well, here's my admission. I have yet to see Phantom Thread, and that's something, like, for weeks now, I keep going, I need to go see Phantom Thread, and then I go see Black Panther instead.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what happened to me.
Well, Black Panther,
guilty.
Good. You know, Marvel could use your money.
I know. That's really, I just really wanted to support some small independent filmmakers here. And just,
really good of you.
Black Panther seemed to fit that bill.
Altruism. Well,
yeah.
It's fine. We've got, you know, Dunkirk is a great film.
I am so pleased to see Christopher Nolan in this category. It is about time. Even if he doesn't win, I am just so thrilled he is finally getting some Oscar love.
Yeah.
It is about time.
One of these years he'll win. I don't know that this will
I don't
be the
think
year.
it's this year.
Yeah, Dunkirk is the divisive movie. I'm a fan. It didn't make my top 10, but I'm a fan.
It was my number 2 of the year, so I loved it.
You're a fan.
Yeah.
Phantom Thread, great movie. It's the persnickety dressmaker movie of the year. Last year, there was actually a movie called The Dressmaker with Kate Winslet that was trying to be a contender for awards. It didn't really.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you now, it is not what you think it is. I watched that movie, and it takes a weird turn about halfway through.
Agreed. The Dressmaker, not yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. I was just like, wait a minute. This is...
I really enjoyed myself, but it was weird.
Up to a point. Right.
I'm trying to figure out, do I put it up higher in my list to watch, or do I cross it off?
Like, what? Phantom Thread or Dressmaker?
Dressmaker. Now I'm intrigued.
Don't worry about that. Watch Dunkirk.
Watch Phantom Thread.
Gosh sake. Yeah. So what do you think? Madeline, what do you think? Is it should win, will win, best director?
Let's see. Will win. What did I say? I already mapped this out. I said will win is Shape of Water. So Guillermo del Toro. Wanting to win was Greta Gerwig, or Jordan Peele. I'd be happy just because they're outsiders, smaller budget films, films that people really love but maybe didn't expect to see, originally at the Oscars. But I think Shape of Water. I think he's going to get it. He won the Golden Globe, I believe, in this category. Not that they always repeat each other; they don't. But yeah, especially from what I've been reading, that's sort of the lead in this category.
Gotcha. Taylor?
I would definitely say Guillermo del Toro. It's his to lose. He seems to be the one getting all the momentum leading up to it. And with 13 nominations for the movie, it really seems like he's the front runner. Like I said, I don't think it's his year, but I would love to see Christopher Nolan take home a Best Director one of these days. And I would also be very happy to see Jordan Peele for Get Out.
Agreed.
Okay. I'm asking the question, but I don't have a clear answer myself. I am going to say should win. I'd love to see any of these people win, honestly. This is a fantastic batch.
True.
I'd be legitimately excited to see any of them win. Although Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig have the newbie thing going against them. They're up against these other three established powerhouses, particularly Nolan and Paul Thomas Anderson, who there's the thinking that they either should have been here before or they have been here before. Paul Thomas Anderson is somebody that history's going to remember on the level of, Scorsese or even Kubrick. So, but yet he makes these movies that most Academy Award voters, I don't think, know what to do with. So probably not him, but I'm going to say will win. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Greta Gerwig.
Yay!
And the reasons for that is because people like her. This is, Lady Bird's a great movie. Does it measure up in its directorial greatness with those other four? Maybe, maybe not. But people like her, and we have to remember that as a voting body, the Academy voters, it's by far actors. And actors like to pick other actors. There's a history of actors turned directors winning director Oscars.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think what she did with Lady Bird is very different from Shape of Water or Dunkirk or even Get Out. It's such a small character drama compared to those big, sprawling, maybe tons of CGI. So I think it's really hard to compare apples to apples here because what they did, they both did really well with what they were doing. But are you picking the most directing or are you picking the best directing? Because if it's the most directing, it's probably Dunkirk or Shape of Water, but
Mhm.
that's not the name. It's not most directing. It's best directing.
It is not most directing. Yeah, it would be Dunkirk if it was most directing. And some years they do go that route, like Titanic or The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Whenever something like that wins, it just cannot be denied.
Yeah.
This, I think, can be denied, unfortunately. But, you know, I think Del Toro, I'm a big fan. I would love to see his movie, see him win for that. But I do think Greta Gerwig, because she's an actor, and Jordan Peele's also an actor, but I give her the edge again. I hate to say, for external reasons, the Me Too movement. It's you know, the women's, you know, it's the year to give break some ground and give maybe it's that year to break some ground and give a woman the Academy Award, and Greta Gerwig would be an ideal Best Director recipient for that. I don't know.
I don't think it would be it wouldn't feel like, oh, she only won because they wanted to win a woman, like let a woman win. Like there's obviously a lot of real talent here, and while it wouldn't necessarily be my pick, I do think she's a deserving nominee, and for that reason, part of me would be very thrilled if she won.
Agreed. Okay, well, let's
Fingers
talk
crossed.
about, let's talk about some other categories. What do you guys like? Actors? Actresses?
Let's talk about actors.
Sure.
Actors? Okay. Timothée Chalamet, Call Me by Your Name. Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread. Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out. Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour. And Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel, Esquire.
Yep. Have not seen that.
Nope. Nobody has.
Nobody has.
So,
Yep. My parents did. They liked it.
Did they really?
Oh, I'm sorry, Taylor.
Yes, they did.
How about that?
My dad's a big Denzel fan.
Well, Denzel's fantastic.
I know. It's hard to fault him for that.
It's just, it's hard to fault Denzel for being fantastic.
No. Oh, or my dad for liking Denzel.
Oh, well, there's no point in that.
Both make sense.
Okay. So best actor in a leading role. Taylor should win, will win.
Well, I'd really like to see Daniel Kaluuya take it home.
Just happened.
Just, you know, I felt like he responded really well to the pressures put around him and this different, just crazy
really
circumstance that he was in. So that would be my pick. Once again, I'm afraid it's going to go to most acting, which would maybe be Gary Oldman. And he was good. But I'm getting a running theme you'll see in my commentary tonight is I would really love the kind of genre shakeup and movie shakeup that Get Out winning would bring. Yeah. So Daniel Kaluuya, I think, who's kind of an unknown but great. And in Black Panther. Go see
he's great.
Support independent film.
Sure. Yeah, no, Get Out. Man, they really threw some, you know, a serious campaign behind this thing. Yeah, for the video, here, hang on a second. You guys talk for a second. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Are they still playing Get Out across the country?
I think they brought it back. Yeah, they were bringing it back for President's Day, I think, but I don't know if it's still out or not.
I thought I saw something on Facebook, but it seemed like it was coming out after the Academy Awards, somewhere in St. Louis. I don't remember where. Someone shared it. Yeah, it was around.
What's up? So, Taylor, you're in the running for best propage for a podcast, because anybody who didn't see, she's talking about Get Out.
I'm terrified.
Doing the coffee or the teacup. Look at what they sent. They sent me this book. This is amazing. This is a book of Get Out fan art. See, it's a giant
amazing
coffee table book. I've never gotten anything like this before for being a member of the St. Louis Film Critics Association. And then it's full of film critic blurbs also. So this is tethered to award season. You're not going to find
it's amazing
at Barnes and Noble. Anyway, I was like, this is like probably worth $60. I mean, I don't know. And it says here on the spine, now you're in the sunken place.
Yes.
Did you post this on
After I
Facebook?
finish
I
stirring
did.
this,
Okay.
you will be in the sunken place and you will give me that book.
Oh, will I? Yes. You have to go through my wife to get it, is the thing. Yes. She's very into Get Out, thinks that's probably her pick. But anyway, just wanted to show you that because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Totally.
Not to brag, it's like that showed up. It's like, what on earth is this?
Yeah. Hashtag humble brag.
Yeah, humble brag, right? Exactly. Well, I did nothing to get this. I just, I'm a member of a critics group. That's it. So,
living the dream.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, that the fact that they sent these to nobody critics in flyover country is showing just what Blumhouse is throwing at this movie, which is despite what the Golden Globe says about it being a comedy, it's in many ways a horror movie, and a horror movie, a thriller. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. But yeah, that Silence of the Lambs is the only such movie that's ever won before, and it did quite well its year.
Yeah. Big five, right?
I
Director,
believe so.
actor, actress, picture, and
Oh, wow.
screenplay, I think.
I don't know if it quite nailed all five. I don't think it did.
Okay.
But it
definitely supporting actor, actress, best
right.
picture.
It did, solidly though. And I was rooting for Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if you guys were not born yet, but I was. I was.
I love when people remind me of that.
Sorry.
I was rooting for Beauty and the Beast that year. I think that was the year of JFK and Beauty and the Beast and stuff. Anyhows, I will say for this year, Best Actor, it's hard to overlook Daniel Day-Lewis ever. And Daniel Kaluuya did great there, although it's not the kind of performance that normally gets Oscar attention.
And that's why I want it to win.
Yeah.
Partly.
It's not a showy role at all. And it's cool that that's there, so often that's not the case. I always use the Rain Man example that, Dustin Hoffman won all the awards for the, the showier performance in Rain Man. But he couldn't have done that without Tom Cruise standing there next to him, as the more or less invisible normal guy, reacting to everything and going through the arc of the film. So that's good on him, but I don't think he'll win. Denzel Washington, that it's a wonder that got nominated. Despite what your parents say, Taylor, I'm glad they enjoyed it. Most people did not find this movie to be worthwhile.
That's okay. I have not seen it, so I cannot vouch for it. I'm sure Denzel was great because he always is. I
don't even know if ZekeFilm got to it as a review. I don't even know that we did.
We didn't, because I tweeted out all the Oscar-nominated film reviews, and I couldn't find one for that.
Yeah, nobody went. They screened it, and everybody's like,
it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, oops. Darkest Hour. It's Gary Oldman's year. Come on. It's true. Gary Oldman's going to win for being Winston Churchill. It's a good movie, too. I wasn't into this. It's like the King's Speech where I go in going, all right, King's Speech, you better, convince me that you're something other than an awards monger here. And, a movie cooked up in a laboratory with the, distinct purpose of first and foremost winning Oscars. And doggone it, that's a Darkest Hour is a better movie than people, I think, are giving it credit for. And it's a good 1-2 feature, double feature there with Dunkirk.
That is true. They go very well together.
Yeah.
Are critics not enjoying Darkest Hour? I haven't kept up with that.
They don't seem to be.
Okay.
It's kind
I
of weird.
wasn't crazy for it.
I haven't seen it.
It was really well made. Like, I could appreciate the artistry, and the story didn't grab me, which is really crazy because I love World War II movies, case in point, Dunkirk. And I love Gary Oldman. I'm here for it. I love The Crown. I don't know, honestly, I think The Crown hurt my opinion of it because I love The Crown and I love John Lithgow in that role. And I'm like, sorry, dude, it's already taken in my mind.
No, I haven't seen that. So
Fair.
I think I saw half of an episode when Silwyn was watching it one night. This is good. But I didn't see John Lithgow though. But Gary Oldman, it's there's this vibe around that it's going to be him, and I think he's earned it, and he's good. So we'll just see. Actress. Best Actress. I'll read them. Sally Hawkins, Shape of Water. Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Margot Robbie, I, Tonya. Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep, The Post. So, do we even need to ask, Maddie, what are you rooting for in this category?
So I'm just going to go out and say Frances McDormand's going to win, which I know it was maybe like not what you're expecting me to say. I'm a huge Meryl Streep fan. My Twitter was made in her honor. You know, Taylor knows all about this. And it would be great. I mean, I'd love if Meryl got up there and just, you know, either gave a speech that probably had nothing to do about the award and probably just said some political things. But I think it will be, 3 Billboards. Frances McDormand, I obviously already love. She was really good in the movie, whether you like the movie or not, or whether you like it as much as the critics and the awards have loved it. And then I also thought Sally Hawkins was really impressive for being a mute and not saying anything. The only movie I've seen most of the movies nominated, and I also think, you know, the Lady Bird, the young actress, she could win, but I think it will be Frances. Yeah, easy, just like Gary Oldman. I think it'll be Frances.
Okay, Taylor.
I would be very happy if it was Frances McDormand. I loved 3 Billboards. That said, Sally Hawkins was also incredible, and I am one of the few people who kind of responded to Shape of Water with a meh. Like, I understand why this is a well-made movie, and it did nothing for me emotionally. Not nothing. It did some things. But, like, compared to what I was like, compared to what other people have said.
You mean you didn't cry 3 times?
I didn't cry at all.
Sorry, go on.
Which I cry in
my
movies
response
all the time. But Sally Hawkins was, I mean, she was a wonder. I really did like her in that movie. So I would be very happy to see either of them.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sally Hawkins is fantastic in Paddington 2 this year. It's so weird to see her in that after watching Shape of Water.
Very different.
Yeah, she got to utilize. It's almost as though they're making Paddington 2, and they're like, well, you know, what skills can you bring to this? And she's like, well, I just did this underwater movie. It's like, perfect. We'll make you a diver. So all of a sudden, her character in Paddington 2, out of nowhere, is a diver, a swimmer. So she's swimming around in that movie also. But yeah, and that's a good movie. So
I have to see that.
Yeah, for boning up Paddington 2 and for her work in Shape of Water, and a movie that no one's talking about where she's arguably even better is Maudie.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's earlier in the year.
It's really good.
Yeah, she's the artist, Maud. Gosh, what's her name? Jones or something? I should know this, but it's blank. Her name's blanked on me now. But she's a real life person playing a real life artist, and she is so good in that. Just heartbreakingly good, and heartbreakingly good in Shape of Water. I would love to see her win. I have not seen I, Tonya yet.
That's also on my list.
I don't think it's going to be the year for Saoirse Ronan. Meryl Streep, I agree with you on that one. Frances McDormand. Will she win? I don't know. I think she will, but I'm going to go with Sally Hawkins. So there you go. Have we all talked about actresses now?
Yeah,
correct.
Hey, you did it right. So we're good on that. Okay, well, let's do some supporting. You think is that where we should go next? And we'll just do this, and then we'll do Best Picture, and then we can talk about some other odds and ends. Does that sound good?
Let's do it.
Good.
All right. Supporting actor, Willem Dafoe in Florida Project. Woody Harrelson, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Richard Jenkins, The Shape of Water. Christopher Plummer, All the Money in the World. And then Sam Rockwell, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Okay, so right away we've got 2 actors in the same movie duking it out here.
And they're both really good.
They're both very good. Yeah, Taylor, what do you think? Is this is a 3 Billboards actor going to take it away from the other, or will they cancel each other out?
I think Sam Rockwell has the momentum. It seems like he's been winning a lot of the lead-up awards, but they're both so deserving. I mean, I could see them canceling each other out. I'm not mad they're both nominated because I think they were both excellent in that film. I think it's going to go to Sam Rockwell, and I'd be fine with that. My only question mark in this category is how did Richard Jenkins get nominated over Michael Shannon in The Shape of Water? But okay. I like Richard Jenkins, but okay.
I love Richard Jenkins.
Me too.
Playing actually Frances McDormand's husband in that mini series for HBO a few years ago.
The Olive Kittredge one?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I just watched that for a film admissions a few months ago, and wow, that is so good. He's great in that. He won an Emmy for that, I think. So I think everybody won Emmys for that.
He's a good actor, but this movie now?
Really?
Yeah, he didn't have a lot to do. He was really good. But
didn't have a lot to do. Wow. He gave a lot of texture to that movie. You could argue that he did what a supporting actor should do, which is imbue the movie with their presence and kind of build it, like let their presence build into the fabric of the movie in a way that is unique to that actor.
Willem Dafoe did that.
Oh, all right. Well, what do you think? Is that your pick? Is that Willem Dafoe? Is he going to win?
I don't think so, but he was good in that movie. I think it's going to be Sam Rockwell.
Okay. All right. So, Maddie, what do you think?
This is why I have to quit school, because I have so many movies. I have not seen The Florida Project. I love William. I would love it if he won. I know him as playing usually an evil character, so I'd love to see him in Florida Project. I hear he's really great. I love Christopher Plummer. My favorite movie is The Sound of Music. We can talk about that later, but I don't think it will go to him. I of course it was really impressive to make a movie so quickly and jump in and replace someone. Richard Jenkins, I love. I just feel similarly with like Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell. They were both really good. From what I remember, and tell me if I'm wrong, Woody Harrelson is not in the latter half of the movie, like half of it. I don't remember the proportion of if it's halfway
he's
through.
Not in the second half.
Yeah, so Sam Rockwell's just kind of more memorable, and he had a little bit more to do. That's kind of what I mean. So I think Taylor's right. He has the momentum, and he does a really great job, whether you like his character or not. So I think it will go to him. But I'd be happy, honestly, with any of them winning. I don't think I'd be upset.
I'm going to go for Willem Dafoe here. I think he should win and will win. I say that, of course, I say he should win because I'm a fan of The Florida Project. I love the movie. It did make my top 10 of the year. And I think it's just a unique piece of work. And the more I think about it, the more I like it, which is I hate to say it, the opposite of Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. The more I think about it, the less I appreciate it. Sam Rockwell is all over the place in that. I guess he's doing a great job of playing this loopy character as written and making somebody who's fundamentally unlikable somehow relatable. But again, it's hard to take that thing away. I think it was what we were talking about with Daniel Kaluuya, playing a non-showy, a rare kind of role that you don't see get nominated for these things very often. And he's so magnificent doing it. You know, it's the guy who fixes the filter in the swimming pool and runs the motel, you know. In many ways, the heart of that film.
Come up. Can you give me like a 2-sentence or more? Like, what is the Florida Project about? I mean, I haven't even seen a trailer. Like, that's how I just totally missed it in theaters. It looks like it's like a family in poverty. I mean, is that sort of, or struggling? Is that the idea? Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard it's really good.
It's not a family. It's, well, I mean, if you call a mom and a daughter a family, I guess, you know, that's what it is. They're living in this this motel, kind of permanently housed there, which I really wasn't aware of this as a lifestyle. But it's a real thing, that people, you know, house themselves in these motels. And this one is right outside of Disney World in Orlando. So it's painted bright pink. And I'm pretty sure I've seen this place. I've been to Disney World several times.
It's a real motel. I listened to an interview with Sean Baker, the director, and he was like, this is a real motel. They just let him film there. So, and I have been on that strip and all those goofy gift shops.
Oh,
totally. Yeah, all over the place.
It's Orlando. And what he does, Sean Baker just with like a documentary feel captures this, but it's a cinematic approach to that, if that makes sense, to where it's, I mean, there's moments in this movie where it's kind of lightning in a bottle. There's towards the end a rainbow, you know, that spans the sky and it's perfectly framed.
Yeah.
And that was a real rainbow. They got it just in time.
Oh man, yeah, I know. It's just like it's such a small movie, and Sean Baker, to hear him talk, it's like you just want to root for him. That you know, and I want to root for more movies like this. And with Moonlight, you know, taking it home last year, you know, nothing's out of the question anymore. As far as what can win these things, I think. The notion of what an Oscar movie, quote unquote, an Oscar movie is changing, and that's exciting. I mean, if it hadn't been changing, there you go.
Which is why I
don't get the cup.
If it hadn't changed, we'd be looking at, you know, we'd be talking Darkest Hour or Dunkirk for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And Darkest Hour isn't even nominated for anything but actor.
No, I'm pretty sure it's nominated for Best Picture. Yep, it is.
Oh darn! What do I know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, there it is, right there next to Dunkirk. Okay, I'm gonna edit that out. No. Who am I kidding? I don't edit these things.
Note to self.
Yeah.
Put a disclaimer at the bottom of the video.
Right. Unless I'm interviewing an author, and then I edit that.
Okay.
Because I have to sound smarter than I do. Take out all the ums. Anyway, where are we? We talked about supporting actress yet?
No.
Right. Why don't we do that? Did everybody have their say on supporting actor? I'm a horrible host. I should know this.
Yes, we did. Okay.
All right, then. We all love Willem Dafoe, even if we haven't seen or know what the Florida Project is.
And now I know.
Yes.
Now I know.
Okay. Good.
Wait.
Mary J. Blige in Mudbound. This is Best Supporting Actress category. Allison Janney, I, Tanya. Leslie Manville, Phantom Thread. Laurie Metcalf, Lady Bird. And Octavia Spencer, The Shape of Water. I have not seen two of these. I have not seen Mudbound or I, Tonya yet, which
Mudbound is very good. Be ready to like like breathe and
Yeah, you
let
need
out some
oxygen.
sadness afterward. It's worth the watch, but it's heavy.
yeah, I'm at enough of a disadvantage with this category where I feel like it's almost wrong for me to pick that because I'm 3 for 5, but I'll pick anyway. I'm going to say not Octavia Spencer because I think this is Octavia Spencer playing Octavia Spencer one too many times. I don't know why
Agreed.
I don't
As
know
much
why
as I love her.
Yeah, I know. Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird or Leslie Manville in Phantom Thread. I am going to say this goes to Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird.
Yay!
Fantastic performance. So great, so great, so great as the mom. And relatable. Those of us who are parents, we kind of know this. And yet, we've all been teenagers too. And you can certainly relate to that. Even if I haven't been a teenage girl, I still kind of can see this through some kind of familiar lens. And that's my pick. Who'd like to go next?
I would pick Laurie Metcalf too. I am in this theme of movies that everybody else seemed to really love and I thought were fine was Lady Bird. But I really liked Laurie Metcalf in that role. And that was a person that I felt like I know this person. I have seen her. I have gone to church with her. She has been my 6th grade teacher. Like, I know her. And I thought she did a phenomenal job with it.
Excellent. So we're both saying what we hope will win. I'm just going to say should win and will win on that because, again, I'm at a handicap anyhow. Are you in agreement there, Taylor? You think
I don't feel like there's and granted, I'm not reading every single article out there, but I don't feel like this one is as front runnery. Like, I feel like everyone's talking about Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's one person getting way more buzz than the others.
Well, if you read the stuff and hear the chatter, which I do follow that to a point, Allison Janney seems to be the favorite. Seems to be.
Yeah, maybe.
Although Mary J. Blige has fans here. I've heard people say they'd like to see her just because it's Mary J. Blige and what's she going to say when she gets up there?
Well, and she was good in that movie. She's a very small role compared to some of these others, but she's good.
Okay.
Very small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Mudbound too. I want to try to be different, but I guess I'm agreeing with you guys. I think Allison Janney will win. I'm trying to keep a realistic head about this. I'd love it if Laurie Metcalf won. I really love her. I've loved her for a long time, and I think she does a really great job in Lady Bird. It easily could have been more focused on the daughter, but it was really heavily focused on the mother-daughter relationship, and she really handled the role nicely. But I think it'll go to Allison Janney because they love her too. But and she's been getting a lot of love, obviously, from various different award shows. But yeah, we'll see. So I agree with you guys.
Awesome.
3 for 3.
Well, aren't we a hive mind tonight?
I know. I'm trying to be different.
Yeah. The Laurie Metcalf, I mean, for gosh sakes, I mean, it's her performance and her character in that movie is what elevates Lady Bird, I think, beyond just, say John Hughes throwback. A very well-realized John Hughes throwback, which some people accuse it of being. It's more than that, and it's in many ways because of this. So, okay. All right. Let's see what we've got for Best Picture. So we've got here, they didn't quite make it to 10. They had nominated 9 films this year using the...
that is the dumbest thing. Here's one of the Oscar flaws. Use your 10 nominations. Baby Driver, people. Baby Driver.
Oh, sure. No, I love Baby Driver more than I love some of the movies on this list. But do you know why this ends up being the case sometimes that they don't use the 10?
Yeah, it's some weird voting percentages. Enough people have to give it their number one vote, but I think that's dumb.
It's a math thing.
Waste of space.
It's a math thing. Yes.
And math is dumb.
So it's complicated, but you're right. Enough people need to give it their number one, or it does not get in there. And sorry, Baby Driver. If they let stunt people into the Oscars, which I'm one of those people that wishes they would. You know, everybody always says, "Why don't they add stunts? They should add stunts." I think we'd start seeing more things like Baby Driver. But
that is nominated, though, right? I think it's for film editing.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
And I want it to win now.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking odds and ends down the list here, film editing. You know, this is what makes a movie in so many ways. And Baby Driver is nominated, as is Dunkirk, I, Tonya, Shape of Water, and Three Billboards. And it's got to be Baby Driver. Come on!
Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Baby Driver.
This is an editing achievement. And also sound editing. It's on there, too. It's up against Dunkirk and Star Wars and some other things.
I listened to I have to give a plug for another podcast while we're here. The Director's Cut from the Directors Guild of America. It's one director interviewing another. So Christopher Nolan interviewed Edgar Wright about Baby Driver.
Holy cow.
And it's just listen how they needed to edit it while they're on set, like still doing takes to make sure it'll work with the music.
Yeah. I would imagine. That's so
cool. I watched that movie and I was like, this is going to take you so long, so much hard work to make this. Because I love editing, and I'm watching it like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm so entertained even with no words, no voices. But yeah, it was really well done.
I'm an editor, and I sat there and watched that opening car chase, and then the whole business of him getting coffee. It's like, how many takes? Where did this come from? You know, it's that whole thing. But yeah, that's Baby Driver. Great movie. People should check it out. But it is not a Best Picture contender, unfortunately.
Nope.
And what are the 9 that I read? Did I read them already?
No.
Okay.
Nope. But we'll do it now.
Yeah. Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Yeah. That's a nice batch. It's a pretty good batch. There's some stuff that isn't there that maybe should be. And arguably a few things that are there that maybe shouldn't be. But Maddie, let's go. Let's see. What do you think? What do you like?
I put down 3 of my favorite movies. So now I will go by what I love. So I wrote Shape of Water, which I'm sorry, Taylor, but I did cry multiple times.
Don't apologize.
I'm
so glad it moved you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not for everyone. Lady Bird, I think, was my number 2 favorite movie of the year. I have a soft spot for. It's one of the reasons that, Taylor, you know this, why I love Gilmore Girls. I just really love mother-daughter relationships, and father and son too. But Lady Bird really hit me in like multiple directions of reminding me of my family. But anyway, and then Get Out. I mean, I think Get Out winning would be crazy in a good way. It's not that it doesn't deserve to be nominated, but Best Picture, you just don't expect a smaller budget movie to do that. So those are my 3. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even pick a who should win, because I just don't think it will be Three Billboards, and I know they've won everything else. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, Sally Hawkins falling in love with the creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, that's hard to deny.
Yeah.
I'd love that to win. I would also love Phantom Thread to win. But again, probably just a little too weird, despite being Paul Thomas Anderson's most accessible movie since Punch Drunk Love. I think that it's just not going to be that for this year. Here's what I'm hearing. Dunkirk, of all things, is gaining traction.
Oh.
Yeah, which is cool. That surprises me. I thought that was just kind of out of the picture at this point. But I'm kind of hearing that might be gaining traction, and Three Billboards might be losing some, which I can live with. It's, many years we can look at this and say, oh, it's all these movies are nominated, but really it's between this one and that one, and single out a few. I can't do that.
No, I agree.
I can't do that this year. It's not. We can probably rule out Call Me by Your Name and Darkest Hour.
Yeah,
and The Post.
Okay, and The Post. Which again, The Post would be a typical Oscar fare in the past.
And it was very good. I really liked that one.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But
Meryl Streep was really good in it, don't you think?
She's phenomenal.
I won't forget Meryl Streep again.
Hard to deny Meryl Streep. Maddie, yeah.
Sorry. Go on. But yeah, The Post won't win. I agree.
It won't win. I'd get excited if Shape of Water won. Just the sci-fi horror nerd in me would just probably get a little gleeful about that. But yeah, if Three Billboards wins, I think at this point I would probably turn on that movie the way I had to turn on Birdman that year.
Oh, you turned on Birdman.
Yeah, I did. I came out of Birdman. I gave it a good review, which is actually on the website. My opening weekend review of Birdman, which is, comparing it to Fellini's 8.5 and all kinds of other things. I get to make a little crack about, it's not a perfect 10, but it's an 8.5 out of 10. Ha ha. So there's but I don't. Now I'm just kind of angry at that Inarritu guy because he seems so full of himself, and every time they nominate him for awards and they give him awards, it's like, no, you're emboldening him. His ego is like clearly enormous. Just stop, So I'm not a fan of that any longer. And Three Billboards, I can see myself going that way for it, even though it doesn't deserve it. It's a good movie, but I'm getting a little sick of it. So let's go Shape of Water.
Yay,
Taylor.
I think that's the front runner. With 13 nominations, I feel like it's, as you said, it's hard to deny. It wasn't my favorite movie. I definitely was in awe of its technical prowess, and the performances were great. Just these others. Baby Driver was my number one of the year. So my heart is a little sad, but Dunkirk, Three Billboards, and Get Out were my 2, 3, 4. And I, in different ways, would be happy to see them all win for different reasons. But I think, and here's the superficial reason, what I'm thinking about what it will be in my Twitter timeline, all the think pieces, I won't Get Out to win.
More Get Out think pieces.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to like those think pieces better than the people who are turning on Three Billboards think pieces and another World War II movie won Best Picture at the Oscars think pieces. Yeah. And on the deeper level, I think Get Out, I would really love to see how that would set some new precedent for genre and for just different kinds of budgeted movies, different kinds of, and that's, they're all deserving movies. So like in that sense, I think they all belong to be here. I think they could all be deserving winners, but in that sense, I just would love to see Get Out win. The more I think about it, the happier it makes me.
Cool. All right.
That'd be cool.
And I love Jordan Peele, and I love Daniel Kaluuya, and Bradley Whitford's great, even though I don't like seeing him as a creepy guy.
Yeah.
Because he's Josh Lyman.
Well, he could be a creepy guy for this.
It's true. Yeah. But I'm just watching The West Wing for the first time, and now I have some cognitive dissonance.
Yes. All right. So it's wide open. Who knows? We don't know. But the Oscars are March 4th, and we'll all be watching those awards proceedings in different ways. I used to have an Oscar party. I stopped doing it because, well, for one thing, people stopped coming. But it was a big deal. I mean, I made a contest, and we had food, and I didn't do theme food, but we had a pretty good spread here, and then I would get out all my Oscar-winning DVDs and decorate the room with them. All
cool.
the best pictures that I own, which is sometimes the only reason that I would buy a particular movie that I don't like, just because I'm like, well, yeah, exactly. I don't have that yet. I'm still holding out on that one, but I would get it if I saw it for cheap, just because I need it for that decorating. I mean, I've got goofy movies from the 30s, like
Broadway Melody.
Yeah, that movies like that. That's just like,
we can look in here and find everything that won.
Yeah, is it the Greatest Show on Earth from 1952, which is a Cecil B. DeMille circus movie that everybody says should not have won? I've got it here. I haven't even watched all these movies, but I own them. So anyway, that's my decorating, and I used to do this big Oscar party, and now some years it's just the wife and I watching the show.
I have a bunch of. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Our daughter's old enough now to kind of be very interested in watching the show, and probably could stay up for some of it. Hopefully the jokes aren't too inappropriate, but I don't know. This year I'm kind of flirting around with leaving the house. I don't know. I might leave the house for the first time in like a decade for the Oscars.
Wow. Maybe.
What are you guys doing?
Well, I have an Oscar watch party every year, and Maddie is invited.
And I think I'm coming pending homework. So yes.
Yes, I totally understand. Yes. But I will tell you, a couple years ago, when Leonardo DiCaprio had his big win, we all have themed snacks, so everyone finds something to bring. So last year, it was someone brought a cheese plate and called it Fantastic Cheeses and Where to Find Them. And there were little flags for all the different countries of the world where the cheeses came from. And then 2 years ago, I think it was when Leonardo DiCaprio won, someone brought Leonardo DiCaprio Sons.
Oh, wow.
And then we all blew horns when he won. We were pretty pumped.
I cannot wait.
Was it Crystal Lyon? She's a ZekeFilm contributor.
Uh-huh.
Huge DiCaprio fan. In fact, on the site, I think you can find her homemade Leonardo DiCaprio Valentine cards that she made for Valentine's Day a few years ago, and we posted those just because I was like, hey, this is a lot of fun. Let's just put them up there. So yeah, anyway, Crystal made Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think for all his nominated movies, if I'm not mistaken. So I was
that's pretty great.
She should have been there. Yeah. But I don't know. My problem with these Oscar parties is nobody's as enthusiastic about this as I am at my parties. I'll yell out these predictions, and people are like, I don't even know what these movies are. They're just
that too.
Yeah.
And I just say I haven't seen them all either.
Yeah, but you care.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
That helps. We're having an Oscar party. So, all right. Well, any other last minute predictions or irritations about this year's Oscars? Did your favorite best song not get in the best song? What happened? Are we?
We've already had my biggest gripe about Baby Driver.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Jimmy Kimmel does. Back to back. He did really well last year from what I can remember. My memory's getting worse and worse.
He was very good.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. Yeah. He's been obviously super political lately. I can't stay up and watch late shows anymore.
Nope.
But I see the clips the next day, and he is, really been an advocate for a lot of different social issues right now. So I do think it will be I know the Golden Globes, while it was political, it was very focused on the Time's Up and Me Too. And I wonder how much that will really impact the Oscars, especially with Jimmy Kimmel being such an advocate for talking about things like gun control or healthcare and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm interested to see what he does, and I hope he does well. But that'll be something to watch for, I think.
I hope he does well too, because we're stuck watching him.
Well, that's true.
I'm just giving a quick look over this list of nominations, and I'm seeing, first of all, I'll just say best costume. I would get in trouble with my daughter. I think she's probably going to be heartbroken that night when Beauty and the Beast does not win best costume design. But she, if she had it her way, Beauty and the Beast would have swept all the major categories. That is,
I'm a fan of that movie.
I am too.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that for her, that was the film of the year, and where's Emma Watson, guys? That kind of thing.
I think that's the only category I'd be okay with Beauty and the Beast winning. So
costume.
Yeah, so I wish it luck.
Well, it's up against Phantom Thread, which if Phantom Thread's going to win anywhere, it's going to win there.
Yeah, that is kind of its to lose.
Yes. So it cannot be, as we say, denied. And I'll just throw one last one out here. Best visual effects. I read this list and go, holy cow. Where do we go here?
Oh, wow.
Blade Runner, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Kong Skull Island, Star Wars Last Jedi, War for the Planet of the Apes. That's 5 strong contenders. Very, very strong. All, right there in each other's face. Mm-hmm. I'm a Star Wars guy, so I have to say Star Wars, although that War for the Planet of the Apes.
I do have a soft spot for Rey, as you can see.
Wait a minute, what? What do I see?
I have a soft spot for Rey.
Oh, hey, look at that. She's wearing a shirt,
Wars.
Everybody. She's wearing a Rey.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I would love for that to win. But I suspect it might be that Planet of the Apes movie. They're and I could tell you on the critical side, on the film critic side, the junk they mail us, we got a lot of stuff in the mail for War for the Planet of the Apes, and it's all like from a marketing. If you look at it through the eyes of marketing, which is what this is, everything kind of leans into visual effects. All the stuff, they're asking, consider it for this, consider it for that, and consider it for best actor and best director and blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
but really, this is about Andy Serkis in the motion capture and how far that's come. So there you go, guys. I think Blade Runner 2049 will be the, at long last, the cinematography for
Roger Deakins, right?
Yeah. I think we're going to finally, I've got that feeling. I think we're finally going to see him take home that statue. He's been nominated, I think, 18 times or something.
Wow.
And this would be a very deserving one too.
Yeah, never won. So it's time.
That would be exciting. I have not seen Blade Runner.
Yeah, people can go on the ZekeFilm.org and read our film admissions for Roger Deakins, the only cinematographer we've ever covered in such a way. So our love goes out to Roger Deakins, although there's several other great cinematographers on this list. So there you go, guys. We're going to wrap this up. But the Oscars will be on in a few weeks, and maybe we can come back here and do a post-mortem on that show.
Sounds good.
And if we remember what we picked, which I won't remember. If we remember what we picked, we can mock each other for being wrong.
Can't wait.
That would be fun.
Oh my gosh. You thought the Post was going to win everything, Maddie.
Oh God. I hope I didn't say that. I'm going to be
how
losing.
I can edit. I can work wonders in editing. You'll be amazed.
Did you guys know? Could you have? I can't believe we all guessed that they were going to pull La La Land again as the winner this year.
God,
what are the
odds? Can you imagine? No.
Faye Dunaway is back.
Yes.
Angrier than ever. I haven't heard actually who's giving out what. What do they have?
Not Casey Affleck. I did hear that.
No, he's not going to be there.
He's not there.
That was smart to not come.
Dodge that one. Yeah. So I don't know. It was fun to see Bonnie and Clyde get out there, but then Warren Beatty, he kind of pulled one over on her, didn't he?
I think he was pretty confused too. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there.
He was confused out there.
Yeah.
Well, he was, but he wasn't going to take the fall. He Did you guys hear the backstory on this? They said they were at each other's throats, like for the entire day before at the rehearsal.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Who's going to read Best Picture? Who's actually going to say the title of the Best Picture?
Oh, God.
Neither would concede. It's like he insisted that it be him, and she insisted that it be her, and nobody would give an inch. So they go to do the thing, and the show is on, and that happens, and he's confused, and he just hands her the envelope. So knowing that backstory, the fact that he just handed it to her, and like so gentlemanly, like, "Oh, you read it," and she's like, "What?" And she opens it and of course reads La La Land. It's the wrong movie.
Yeah.
He knew something was up and threw her under the bus in the classiest of Warren Beatty fashion. So that guy, holy cow. Have you seen the commercial for this Oscars with him in it? There's a Jimmy Kimmel having I think you can watch it on the internet. Jimmy Kimmel's having a bad dreams. He's talking to a psychiatrist about last year the winner is La La Land, and he's like everywhere he goes he's reminded of this. And,
I have seen this.
Yeah. And he's talking about it. And he's like, what should I? Now they want me to do it again. What do I do? And then you see the psychiatrist. It's Warren Beatty. And he's like, I don't care what you do. Just get out of my house. It's pretty good.
Great.
Warren Beatty's a good sport.
Yep. He was in Ishtar. I watched that for the first time last year.
Oh, man.
I enjoyed it.
I have not seen it yet. I need to get around to
it's bad, but it's a lot of fun.
Did you watch that for our website, or was that just on your own? Somebody watched it for the website.
I got to do a quick interview with the director for the podcast I was on, or the podcast I co-host.
Okay. The director of Ishtar? Because she's dead.
No, the director of Waiting for Ishtar. Sorry. It's a documentary about Ishtar fans. I really misspoke there. That was like, in my head, I was equating those, and those are not the same thing.
Do they get all the Ishtar fans in one room, and this is just a documentary short subject? Because I'm thinking, how many can there be?
It's a shorter documentary. It's about 45 minutes.
Okay, so I'm right.
But it's really fun. So I recommend it. Waiting for Ishtar, starring and directed by John Mitchell.
Okay. Well, thanks for that.
I'll add it to my list.
Okay. Yeah, add it to that ever-growing list.
It's long.
Yep. Well,
it's heavy.
You've got between now and the week after the Oscars to watch all these movies, so you can come back on and tell us about.
Remind me.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, guys, thanks for being here. This is ZekeTalk on ZekeFilm.org, which is our website. ZekeTalk is our show. This is a YouTube show, but if you're hearing it as audio only, which is a possibility, I'm always hoping to do that. You can subscribe to this feed, subscribe to this channel. However you're hearing it, subscribe to that. We hope you enjoy it, and give us the thumbs up and all of that, and tell your friends. And be sure to visit the website and check out our writing, because that's really where our heart is in a lot of ways, other than doing this. And watch movies together, have an Oscar party, get together with some friends, and hash it all out together, because that's what it's about. So
agreed.
Oscars. Hey. Woo.
Oscars. Woo. Yeah. Woo. So we're going to leave you at that. I feel, in true Hollywood fashion, I'm the 44-year-old guy with these two 20s, ladies in their 20s. It's like I'm way too old to be paired with, this is not kosher anymore. Those days are over. But so with that in mind, we will sign off.
Yes.
And you guys have a great week.
Yeah,
Yes.
you too. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for listening.